name's Emily Clues and I'm here today to talk about my experiences of a night out in Manchester.
Are there any circumstances where you have been endangered?
Yeah, my first time I went clubbing I was 16 and never encountered really any sexual assault before.
So I went out, didn't drink, was out for an hour, got back to my friend's house, was lying on the floor, couldn't move. Tried to call an ambulance, but I said don't do it.
We were in the queue outside and I had there's a gang of lads walk past and then one of them grabbed my arse and I just laughed it off, I didn't really know what else to do. Looking back I wouldn't have done that now, but that's just insight in the past.
I bought 2 drinks and I checked on my bank that I bought 2 drinks, just make sure. And then I went outside, this random guy gave me a jacket and I took it anyway because he was drunk, I felt drunk even though I had 2 drinks.
Well, first of all, when I first started coming to uni, I've realised the culture around spiking. I was warned by a lot of past uni students about the dangers of it. So ever since the start of uni, I've kept my drink with me. I've never put it down anywhere. That was one of the things we've always been taught. And there was a stage when people started protesting against the way that clubs were dealing with spiking. They put lids and cling film onto cups to prevent it, but then after a while, after the hype of it went down, no one really did it. So it doesn't really happen anymore unless you ask for it.
I fell asleep in the taxi.
You fell asleep in the taxi?
Yeah, I fell asleep on my way home.
Okay.
Got to my friend's house.
Had you been spiked at this point?
I didn't know.
You didn't know?
No, because I had 2 drinks and I drank a lot, so I didn't understand why I felt so
Your
drunk.
tolerance is quite high.
Yeah. So I got to my mate's house. And as soon as I got there, I was falling over and shouting.
I've known multiple girls who have been injected. She had a needle mark in her shoulder.
It had 3. It had 3 dots with a black bruise around it, but the bruise was way too big to be anything else.
Oh really?
And the fact it had dots as if an injection. It was pretty obvious what it was.
She noticed the effect instantly after it happened. She lost feeling in a lot of her arms and legs.
My whole leg just aching throughout the entire day. And he went kind of numb.
How do you feel about the whole security of the measures they put in Manchester? Do you reckon they should improve them?
With my personal experience with security, it depends on who you get.
Security has improved. I think they've definitely cranked down on it a lot. They've got a lot more security in clubs. They've got them around all the toilets. So no men are following women in toilets anymore. No one could take drinks in there to possibly put stuff in the women's drinks.
Recently I was out in Factory and I was drunk, obviously everyone's drunk there. But I didn't know you had to pay to go in the smoking area, so I went in there.
But when it comes to the stereotype of drunk girls, I think bouncers definitely overlook that. They can kick women out on their own. They won't try and help them look for their friends. They'll just send them out into a random taxi and then God knows where they're going to go. And yeah, I think that definitely needs to be changed. I think no one should be kicked out of the club on their own. I think they should be waited with the bouncers or something. But no, I think they can get quite aggressive sometimes as well with you. I've been shoved and moved quite a few times.
And he grabbed me and for someone who's going there for the first time, they're not going to know they've got to pay to go in. So I just walked out, he grabbed me, I was like, you need to pay. And obviously I'm drunk, I didn't really understand. So I was talking to my mates, trying to say to them what's going on. And then the next minute I know he's
grabbed me and moved me out of the club once when I was just trying to find my friend because she was on her own inside. So no, definitely needs to be more. I think there needs to be more security outside actually. I think that's the problem. I think they've got everyone inside kicking people out and then when people are actually out on the streets there's no protection, so I think that should be improved.